What's up, guys? It's Gigants here with more that fire Yu-Gi-Oh content. Yeah. Um, so if you came for the deck profile, you were kind of half baited, but not really. I'm gonna be doing a deck profile for Kashtira Punk, which I played yesterday's locals. Went 4-2 with it, which was pretty good outing for me. I think the deck had some problems that I didn't understand going in, and I learned like during the tournament, so there was some reason for that. After that, I'm going to show what I'll be playing moving forward, the Gold Pride Punk deck list, and then after that, I was just at my local antique mall, and I found some like busted up packs of Darkwing Blast, kind of like half certain they might have been like tampered with, so we're going to find out, but they gave me like them for $3 each, so I was like, good deal. So I'll open those afterwards. So just to get into the deck profile, you can go with the standard Punk stuff: 3 Foxy, 3 Zeoman, 3 Ogre. Those are your 3 ofs. I mean, if you're here, you know what this stuff does. So we're gonna go ahead and move on with that. 2 Deer Note, 2 Sharakusai. I kind of went back and forth on it, but like right before the tournament, I decided to just go for 2 because tier was still a thing and it was milling like crazy. 1 ofs, Wagon, and Madame Spider. Then I went with 2 of the field spells and then 1 trap. So the trap comes up because I was in round 2 playing against Branded, and everyone always asks like, what's our time card? So I do have the Archfiend in the side deck, spoiler alert, just to play for time. But then this also comes in for time too, because I went first, there was 6 minutes left, and he's like, all right, well I got this because you're going to eat up all your life points, right? So I go through my whole combo, and then I grab this, and he's like, oh. So basically on his turn, as soon as he summons something, I'm going to negate it and gain life points. So I ended up gaining 3,000 life points. And then basically he couldn't play through my interruptions, and then I bounced everything and just won. And I won before time, but either he wouldn't let me summon my Psychic and Punisher every game. Like I'd be like, all right, summon, and he's like, he would see it coming and be like, all right, next game. But anyway, so this is like a good option for time because you can gain those life points. And if they, and it's kind of specific though, because you got to have enough time. And I raced through my combo. I say I did full combo in like a minute. I just went bam, bam, bam. He had no interruptions. So that was very helpful. But yeah, I do think it's good in time. Moving forward, I will be using the other trap just to see how it works. So that's all the Punk stuff. Let's see what's next. 3 E-Tellies. It's my collector's rare. I found it in a dusty old pack at Walmart. That was pretty cool. Alright, so then this is the Kashtira stuff. So 3 Fenrir, 2 Births, and 3 Unicorns. Some notable things I was able to do during this tournament that what I really liked about this was these are good for baiting out hand traps, especially with Kashtira being in the format. When they see you summon out a Kashtira, they're going to be like, most times this game 1, they're going to be like, oh, he's on cash, and they're going to start hitting this, and you don't really need it. So it's pretty cool. So like I would go, one thing I really liked doing was the Kashtira Unicorn, do Kashtira Birth, and then I would bring out one of my level 3s, then go into Baron, and then Kashtira Birth would come back. I'd use one of my extra level 3s to make Shinging, and like, I mean, you have Dragon Drive on the field. Where's my extra deck? Oh, this is my old extra deck. I gotta change that before I get into that. You got Dragon Drive with Sharakusai and Baron and Xingyang. I mean, that's gonna be difficult to get through, especially, I didn't see a Lava Golem all day. I didn't see a Sphere Mode all day. No one had any board breakers, really, at all. So, we'll see what happens in the next format, but that's the Kashtira stuff. Hand traps. 3 Imperms. The call I decided to make was, what do I want in here with the draw power of the deck? So I knew everyone was going to be at my locals playing tier, getting their one last hurrah in before the ban list kicks in. So what I did is I main deck D-Barrier, and this shut people down. I drew into it almost every time going first with that draw power. I put Dimensional Barrier down. there was one point where I literally got hand trapped to where I couldn't play. I had a pretty bad hand. I had a Fenrir on the board, and I ended up just making. I had Fenrir. I set D barrier on a Sword Soul matchup, and then standby phase. I said synchros. He just said pass next turn. I went Psychic End Punisher, ended the game. This card will be coming up in my next deck list as well in some way. But I use it against Tier. I use it against Branded. Against Tier, I mean, it's okay. I probably could have come up with something better. But, I mean, this card like really worked out, especially since I pulled a Triple Tactics Thrust. That game I told you about against Sword Soul, the reason I actually had this on the board was because he hand trapped me with like an Ash Blossom. I played Triple Tactics Thrust, set that straight to the field. He already knew. I mean, that was pretty much it for him. The rest of these hand traps. Oh, I said I was going to do hand traps, and I started talking about D barrier. Look at me. So I played Bestials, only because this is the last time that Tier is going to be like a real significant threat. Taking these out going forward, maybe siding. I don't know. My side deck's tight for the next format, but 2 Magmuts, 2 Druid Swarms, just to have those. They didn't really come up that much. They didn't do me any good. Really, all they did was get in the way of my Kashtira plays, if I'm being honest. And then these are the 3 tech cards I played, and this is where my misunderstanding came in. So this is searchable off Dragon Drive. If you're a Punk player, you just know that. I'm not gonna be playing it moving forward, because there are so many matchups where I drew it for the I searched it for the extra interruption because I had everything I needed, like the Madame Spider and everything, and I just couldn't use it. I played Subterror. That was I lost to Tier Limits and Subterror because I was just not expecting Subterror. I had no back row removal, so I basically just got Gozen matched evenly and TC booed, and it was just over. So these were these banished cards. So my understanding of these was if I used them and banished a Kashtira while I had Kashtira Birth on the field, I could bring these back, but I was wrong about that. So these, they came up. They're good cards. I used both effects of this multiple times, and then I also used this to bring out Harbinger, because one of the things you do is keep one of your like ogres or foxy tunes in hand, then special summon it by attributing one of your leftover punk monsters like Madame Spider. Then you bring him out, and then you just have a Harbinger on the field. So I definitely like that aspect of it. So round 1 I played some kind of dragon deck, I forgot, but 2-0'd it. Then I played the Branded guy. We went to round 3. Then I lost my first match against Tier. We only played 1 match. It went all 40 minutes. He beat me by deck out. He couldn't get over my Psychic End Punisher, and he just wouldn't run out of cards. He kept going down to 1, and the deck, it got hit for a reason. It's too powerful. If this was the next format, I absolutely would have won that. So then game 4, I played... No, wait, we're on game 4 now, yeah. I played the Subterror guy. Game 5, played the Sword Soul guy. And then I don't remember what I did in game 6, but I lost that one, I think. So I did 4-2. And so anyway, that was the deck list I played. And then next, I'm going to show you the deck list I built after the tournament when I got all the Gold Pride stuff. That's not true. I should show off my extra deck first. So my extra deck was obviously the 1 Fusion, 1 Dragon, 1 Amazing Dragon, Baron, Xingying, Psychic End, and then I also had like Unicorn, Axis Code Talker, and Dark Charmer. Never came up. I also had Blackluster Soldier. Never came up. I didn't use any of those. Then for the rest of them, I had Hope Harbinger, Earth Charmer, which actually did come up, and then I had these. So basically, I would go. This actually came up. I did Phantom Knight of Break Sword, and then attacked over a Sprite Elf, I believe. No, it was actually the Sword Soul matchup. I attacked the Tenyi Link monster. did 1,000 damage. Then I went down nerd, Zeus, wiped the board, had 2 more materials to wipe with, and that was, I mean, pretty good deal right there. So yeah, just imagine those other cards are in there, because I don't feel like getting them out because I've already put them away because I built the new deck already. But it was Access Code, Dark Charmer, and Unicorn. Then when I built the new deck, I had the extra deck, and I was like, what can I get out of here? And I realized I had like Access Code in there and Earth Charmer. I was like, what good is Access Code with one other Link monster in the deck? So I just went ahead and took it out. So I'll be showing off the Gold Pride stuff next. All right, Gold Pride Punk deck. So I'm just gonna go through these real quick. Obviously the 3 tunes, Zaman, and then we're doing 3 Ogre Dance still. So then we're doing 2 Deer Note, then 3 of the one-ofs. I cut the Sharaku Cipher because this is a 43 card deck. 1 Punk, actually this is a 42 card deck, my bad. I'm only going with 1 Punk. I'm not as worried about tier milling. I'm not really worried about it getting banished because I'm not too concerned about the draw power. But I mean, it's good to have. So then there's the Punk Trap, and then which I kept in just because I was gonna cut it for the pop one, but like I said, it just came up in time so well that it kind of saved me. So I owe it. So I keep it in there. And then there's the pop one. Then that's all the Punk stuff. So here's my new Kashtira engine. I had to suck it up and cut the Fenrir's, and then I went with the Unicorn because, like I said, with all the level 3s, it's even more likely that you can get a Baron and a Changing on the field very easily with the Kashtira Birth and Unicorn combo. I really wish I could fit the Fenrir's in there though. That'd be tight. But anyway, 3 E-Tellies. Alright, and I think this should be the Gold Pride stuff. Oh, yeah, these are the traps. So here's what we're doing here. I kept a D barrier in here for triple tactics thrust, and then I also have the imperms because they're good to draw into, and they're good going first or second, and they don't play into triple tactics themselves because they're not monster effects. So now we'll be starting with the Gold Pride stuff. If I had more triple tactics thrust, I would definitely play those and then keep the 1 D barrier in there. I think D barrier is just a strong card. Branded's going to be back. It can shut down fusions. Kashtira relies solely on XYZ, so I mean, you throw that, and that's pretty much all they're going to do. And it's just like I think it's a good card that's going to help out a lot. I'm doing 2 Cold Pride Start Your Engines because of a certain combo I'll show you in a minute. 2 Ash Blossoms. This is kind of getting off the rails a little bit. 2 Nibiru. Ash is going to be good against... I can't find my 3rd Ash, but it would be in... I don't know. I like 2 hand traps for some reason. I don't want to draw multiple. Because they're not like imperms where if you have 2 in your hand, you can use them both. But anyway, so 2 Ash, 2 Nibiru. Nibirus are going to be good. I think I have the 3rd Nibiru in the side deck. It's going to be good against Kashtira. And then for the Punk stuff, 3 Leons, got the promos, 2 Nitro Heads, 3 Captain Carries. So the combo I was referring to with the reason I have the 2 traps. When you go Leon, and you go Captain Carry, and then you go into the Gold Pride Leon Synchro, when you use its effect, if you don't know what it does, it basically, I'm going to read it through the camera real quick. During your main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, gain attack equal to it. If your life points are lower, you can destroy that monster. So you got to be careful. Your life points are already going to be really low from you're going to be at least down to 5,000 if you do full Punk combo. So just make sure you don't go back up to 8,000 by using this effect, and you can get the pop. So this is basically like Sharakusai, where it synchros the Gold Pride on your turn. Other thing to keep in mind, actually that's not true. Never mind. Do keep in mind though that if you use his effect to bring this back from the graveyard, you cannot do anything but bring out Gold Pride monsters. So if you happen to try and use this on your opponent's turn, make sure you do your Amazing Dragon stuff first, obviously. But anyway, so once you synchro, if you use this effect on end phase, it goes back to the extra deck, and then it brings out either a Leon from your grave or your deck. So when it does, then your Leon brings out your Captain Carry. Your Captain Carry effect goes and searches another trap. So that's why there's two. Anyway, long story short on that. As for the extra deck, this could be subject to change, but I know that since Kashtira is in the format, I think for now, I'm gonna feel it out, but I'm doing 2 of these because of the effect of Unicorn and the effects of people like other cards to banish from the extra deck. Having 2 just helps out. Still doing the 1 of the fusion, doing Baron and Ching Yang, Psychic and Punisher, and then the Gold Prize Star Leon. Those are all the synchros. Still keeping the Earth Charmer in there, and then still keeping Harbinger in there, and then we're keeping the Zeus package in there. This is a hot take, a Shuriken. The reason I'm doing this is because I haven't thought of anything better yet, but in my test hands, I was ending with just too many level 3s sometimes. Like, sometimes I would draw Gold Pride Leon, not have a carry in the graveyard, obviously, and I was just like, what is this doing on the field? It's not helping me out at all. So what I would do is I would end up with 3 level 3s on the field that weren't doing anything. I would just make an Shuriken out of them. It's a monster negate and destroy. But until I think of something better, that's what I got. And for the side deck, so I actually took Archfiend. Oh, I gotta rebuild the right side deck actually. The side deck I was playing yesterday is was not optimal. It was like D-Barrier, Kurikara. Not gonna be playing those at this moment, I don't think. So here is what I'm trying out. I'm testing out these 3. If I had a 3rd Spooky Dogwood, I would play it, but this is a good card going for time if you play it at the right moment. After losing my ass to Subterror, I put in some back row removal options and then a Raigeki. I only have 1 Lightning Storm. I'm also using these Forbidden Chalices. Okay, so then, and then a 3rd one of those, and then 3 Droll and Lockbirds, and 3 Book of Eclipse. So this is 14. I can either keep the Scarlight Dragon Archfiend in here, or put in the 3rd. Actually, no, that I'm not going to be using him. I'm actually putting the 3rd Nibiru in there, for when I know I'm going 2nd. And this is the side deck I came up with for now. Obviously, this is all tentative, and it's not very important right now. We're going to wait and see what the meta or the new format looks like before we really settle on a side deck. But this is the deck the deck build I've settled on, because I just want to keep it as close to 40 as I can, and keep it as consistent as I can. So what I'm going to do next is shuffle all these up and do a test hand or 2, and then I'm going to open those Darkwing Blast packs because this is kind of getting long. Now let's see what we get. Okay, this is usable. Obviously, special summon out Unicorn, and then this is also hand trap bait. Honestly, I don't even care if I get Birth. It's just plus, you know. Put down the Kashtira Birth, and then I think what I would do to further bait out hand traps here is when I hand test, I always do this. I consider the worst case scenario. I already have an Ash in hand. I'm gonna normal summon Zeoman. Zeoman effect, pay 600 to search. I usually just search Foxy Tune off Zeoman. And then if I haven't been been hand trapped, go E-Telly. This is where I'll bring out my Sharakusai. And the reason I'm doing this is because Nibiru is going to be in the next format, so any chance I have to play around Nibiru, I'm going to take that opportunity. I don't care what it does to my combo as long as I play around Nibiru, because that's just an ender for you. So I'm going to use these two right here to synchro Baron de Fleur. And now we're safe. And I feel confident. I'm going to take Sharakusai with Ogre, pay the 600 to fuse. It's funny, my first match this weekend against the Dragon player, I actually helped him because he tried to effect Valor my Wagon after I tributed this, and I was like, effect Valor him, and then we actually I rewinded and I told him to effect Valor this. I was like, because that ends my plays, and the only reason I did that is because I just, I want to play, I don't know, right. He made a bad move. I told him a better move to shut me down, and that's what we did. And then I tried to play around it. I actually ended up losing that match, obviously. But, I want to get practice playing around worst case scenarios. I don't want to win just because my opponent didn't know any better. Unless it, really matters. This is locals. I wouldn't do that shit at, a YCS. But you wouldn't catch my ass at a YCS anyway. So, Tribute, Wagon effect. Well, Deer Note would... no, not yet. Wagon. So Wagon, Jam Extreme Session, and then we'll synchro. Jam Dragon Drive. Deer Note effect. We'll bring back Sharakusai for your amazing dragon play. Pay 600 to search. So I'm just going fast. Because we all know what this is, Madame Spider, and then you'll shuffle it up, give it to your opponent, because that triggers the effect, and we'll draw one. We drew Gold Pride to start your engines. You know how many times I draw this off of that? A lot. So anyway, let's keep this kind of in the frame. There we go. So Madame Spider, what I do is I typically banish Deer Note. I've been doing this because of Bestials, because if I target something like Ogre Dance or a Foxy Tune, they can target it with Bestial, and then you don't get your special summon. So Deer Note, they can't do anything about that. Special summon effect to search. Depending on what situation you're in, you could either grab this, but in this case, I'm probably going to grab the pop. And then boom, boom, and then we get our second draw. Oh, we got Nitro Head. Cool. So we get our Gold Pride stuff going. So here, what do we do now? This is in our hand. And we have an extra level 3 on the board in Madame Spider. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to special summon Gold Pride Nitro Head. And you can do two things. One of two things. Let's keep all these on the field. Alright, so Gold Pride Nitro Head, if you don't know what it does. During the standby phase of your opponent's turn, you can special summon one Nitro token. Level 8/0/0 cannot be used as link material. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target the Nitro token, destroy the token. All cards in adjacent monster zones. Still not quite sure what they mean by adjacent. I know what the word adjacent means, obviously, but I don't know if they mean catty corner or actually adjacent. Because, technically that is adjacent to that, So we'll see. And you can either do that, or since you have the Foxy Tune in your hand, I'd probably stay with that, personally. Especially if they're on Kashtira, because you summon the token to the other side of the field, it shuts down their special summon. So that would be the ideal play. However, if you know what you're playing against, you can also do this with your extra Madame Spider. You can get rid of your Punk, and you can special summon this. Then you can overlay these two, and I would put these in the extra monster zone because of Harbinger. And then you have a Harbinger. Or like I said, you can keep that on and for the token, and then you have Foxy Tune for follow-up. Which is, it's a good follow-up card of special summons. So then, not only that, you have this or the token play. You have a Gold Pride, start your engines, and you have this trap on the field. And then you have an Ash Blossom in hand. Not always, but you know what I mean. So it's pretty good. I mean, so that's in the extra monster zone. I just wanted to keep it clear because what Gold Pride Start Your Engine does. If your opponent normal special summons a monster, target one of those monsters, then reveal 3 Gold Pride monsters from your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, and you return the rest of the deck. So essentially, if they go into that, these are 1, 2 interruption, 3, whatever this, this big old bounce, 4. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of interruptions. We'll do another one. Okay, look at the deck. Let's see what we get. Busted. I mean, I rarely have bricked in my hand. I had one like brick in my hand test, and it's because I drew all Gold Prides, I think, which isn't even like that. I mean, it's not obviously ideal. So anyway, usually I'll try and bait something out, maybe with Ogre Dance, which will allow me to search. I'll search for Xiamen. Like I said, I play these as if like I would in like a real tournament. I don't just play like I'm in a fantasy world where like hand traps won't exist, or I don't need to play around Nibiru or anything like that. In this case, unfortunately, you cannot play around Nibiru because we didn't draw our level 7. So anyway, I'm gonna start with the Xiamen normal summon, trying to bait out a hand trap basically. If it doesn't get hand trapped, I guess I will rip a Deer Note maybe, because I already have Foxy Tune. So just go ahead and get Deer Note, especially to get Deer Note in case my E-Telly gets ashed or something. Like maybe they're expecting me to bait out all these hand traps, and then I go E-Telly, they hand trap it. Now I have Deer Note, so I can at least get into my Dragon Drive, and then I can search for whatever. But anyway, it's unideal to get hand trapped, but you can still play through some interruptions. At this point, I would E-Telly. Sharkusai, special summon. I would use my homies on the field to do the fusion play. Tribute. And then especially like if that got hand trapped and you're kind of like, you have your Gold Pride, which is good, and then you still have like this stuff. I mean, just having Dimensional Barrier alone is like just such a big deal. Just drawing into that just now, like even if you got shut down, you still have your Gold Pride stuff you can play, and you lose him. So anyway, sorry, let me focus. Blah blah blah. And then I talk like this during my tournaments too. I go, I summon blah blah blah, and then I bring out the wagon blah blah blah, wagon effect. Bring out your punk boy, punk field spell. And then you shuffle up. My opponents, I gotta bend. I dropped a card. My opponents are like, you don't have to keep shuffling like that. I trust you or whatever. And I was like, I'm just used to it from all my hand testing because I just do it so much. My sleeves get really worn out over time because of how much I shuffle. So then you Synchro Dragon Drive, Deer Note effect to bring back Sharkusai. Then you do -600, then you search for that Madame. And this is why I took out the Ogre Dance, because rarely do I search the Ogre Dance. The only time I search the Ogre Dance is when I have the Madame Spider, which is not too often. So then you shuffle, and let's see what we get for our draw. Let's make this as real as possible. I always cut it, and I draw Nitro Head. Fucking broken. Not really, but anyway. Then I special summon Madame by banishing the Deer Note. Not like you can ever special summon her again for the rest of the turn, so it doesn't matter. Madame Spider, pay 600, search for the trap. What trap do you want? We'll get the pop. Why not? Then we're going to shuffle it up. And then even if you get Nibiru, you can still go into your Captain Carry plays. So, I mean, and then you have D-Barrier. So, like, I don't know. I think this is this is gonna be an okay deck. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we're gonna be just king of games, but anyway. So we'll cut the deck, and then we'll get our draw for the Madame search. Ash Blossom, like, come on. Of course, this would never happen in a tournament. So meanwhile, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. We have 7 cards in hand, 3 on the field, and then Madame Spider. So this is what I was talking about in situations where I'm gonna just take a break and go into Fantasy World real quick. Say I had Gold Pride Leon instead of Carrie, and I had nothing else to. She wasn't engraved or anything, so he's kind of useless. Let's be honest. Like, unless y'all know something I don't, let me know. But anyway, if I just had this in hand, what I would do with my extra Madame Spider is I would special summon Leon. Then I would use the effect of Foxy Tune, sending Deer Note, right, to special summon a level 3 for Xayman. And then I would overlay all 3 for a Shuriken, which is a monster negate. So say, like, they won't see that coming because a Shuriken is dog shit card, let's be honest. So if they see that, they won't see it coming. You play it, and then they're like, oh, I want a Nibiru. I'm pretty sure this can negate Nibiru because it negates a monster effect. Not sure if that's true or not, but I know Baron can negate it, so a Shuriken should be able to as well. So then you have a Shuriken, right? And then you special summon Gold Pride, which does your token interruption. And then you have Deep Barrier and this pop on the field and an Ash Blossom in hand. Monster negate. Dragon Drive, you know what that all does. Amazing Dragon, bounce all your for every level 3, which is 1, 2, and then if you negate before you do this, make sure you pitch this one as material, because then it's engraved, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces when you synchro summon on your opponent's turn. And then you have this token interruption, you have this interruption, and then we just happened to draw in the Deep Barrier. But I mean, say you got hand trapped and you had a triple tactics thrust in your hand, and you already know what your opponent's on. You drop that and set Deep Barrier, and you just call XYZ, synchro, whatever. I'm telling you, I just had this on the field and set down a whole Sword Soul turn. Like, I also had Fenrir on the field, and then I top decked Xayman, and he was just like, okay, next game, because you already know what it is. So anyway, those were 2 hands, and honestly, I've just been having some crazy hands playing this, and the interruptions are unreal. But the only thing I worry about is I'm not a very good player, so a lot of the interruptions here are timing based. You need to know when to interrupt your opponent. I am not that confident of a player, so I'm gonna really need to learn when to do these interruptions. And I forgot, I kind of like got sidetracked there for a little bit, but I really had Gold Pride Carry in my hand, and I traded out for Leon for that example. So pretending I didn't do that, and I still had my Captain Carry that I had. She special summons. Then you bring out the trap, and you set your trap. So then you had 3 traps on the field, and when you activate this, you target their monster, and then what you do is you pick 3 Gold Pride monsters. So you pick Leon, and you guessed it, Leon. So you have 3 Leons, they select one, special summons. And then you do the synchro. And then you do the target and the pop. And then at the end phase, you go there, Leon comes back, Leon special summons Carry, Carry searches for your second trap. I mean, I think this is a solid deck, and I cannot wait to test it next weekend. Let me know what you think about that. And now I'm gonna open these Darkwing Blast packs and see if I got ripped off or not. So see what I mean? They're so rough looking. Like, it looks like these are like retro packs or something. Like, they're so beat up. It's just like, it makes me think maybe they like resealed them or something. So anyway, let's just get into it. No, these have been just rained on. Who knows? Anyway, let's see if we can get anything good out of here. One thing you can know, if they have that new card smell, which they do. So let's see what we have. Goatee Fury. Oh well. Okay. Let's do the next one. Lebellion. I'm just kidding. No way in hell that would happen. It's a trap. Sprite Double Cross. Okay. All traps. All trap super rares. Oh, this one feels like it had been resealed. Let's inspect the pack a little bit better. Yeah, no, these are legit packs. They're legit, I think. Alright, Tear Scream, Tilting Entrainment. That's not bad at all. Bestial Drew Swarm, is that still worth anything? Wow. That's like a pretty good deal. Got a Bestial Drew Swarm and out of a blister pack. So, I don't know. Anyway, this video was kind of long. I wanted to like do a lot in it. I probably should have separated it into 2 videos, but if you hung in there and watched all this, I appreciate it. Remember, I'm just doing this for fun. No need to like, comment, or subscribe. It's my Rainfield Center, because G Gundam. Stay gold.